Ready to take things to a new level? This is Level On Up with Sardia.
Welcome, Casey Barnes. How you been, buddy? It's been a few months.
It's been a few months, but no, we've been pretty flat stick actually since the album came out the end of Feb. So since then we've been on the road pretty much since then. Started out doing shows in Tassie, and we've been over to South Australia and Victoria, New South Wales, and we've just done a bunch of dates in Queensland. So it's been nice to be back doing gigs again.
And congrats, the album went number one on the ARIA country charts.
It did, yeah, thank you. Very grateful for that. And I think we even managed to jump back up to number one recently, thanks to, I guess, all the shows, and people have been buying albums at the gigs, and we just brought it out on vinyl as well. So there's been a few people grabbing it on vinyl in the last few weeks too, which has been great.
That seems to be the convo around the workplace here at the moment. Vinyl. How much has how much more popular has that been in the last few years? Have you noticed, in comparison to, say, CD sales? How do you think vinyl tracked for you?
Well, it's a good question. It's the first time I've ever released an album on vinyl, so it's something that we decided to do. Like my manager Chuggy just said we should put this one out on vinyl, and the only downfall was at the time it didn't matter whether you were me or you were Taylor Swift or whoever. Like there's this worldwide shortage and backlog of vinyl, so we had to wait for quite a while to actually get all of our copies. So I guess some of my fans had to be patient and wait until they came in. So that was the only negative. But apart from that, now we've got them. They're selling really well, and I guess it's for anyone that's a bit old school and likes the sound of vinyl, and the fact that you get, you can do all these amazing things now with vinyl where you can design like even the color of the vinyl. Like mine's this fluoro orange, which is really different. So it's cool. I love it.
And when you said it took a while, like how long are we talking?
Oh, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. We put the order in September last year. So that, to give you an idea, so they had all of the parts. It gets done offshore, and then they ship all the vinyl in. And it didn't matter. They were, apologising, but it didn't matter what act you were anywhere around the world. There's this shortage, and I guess it was probably, when we were coming off the back of COVID, and deliveries and shipping was all delayed and all that fun stuff. So we got caught up in all of that. So yeah, it was frustrating, but at least we've got them.
Have you found, minus that, the actual process of it quite enjoyable, because it's in some ways going back to the old school way of music in comparison to streaming and online? Yeah,
it's great. I mean, I grew up listening to my mum and dad's vinyl collection as a kid, and that's what got me into music. They had such a variety of artists that they were into, and so I was listening to lots of country artists, but then there was rock and pop and all sorts of stuff. So I love vinyl, and it's a lot of people are buying them as sort of like collector's items. So I've had some fans buy them at gigs, and then they've got the vinyl out and they've got me to sign on top of the vinyl. So I guess they must just keep it as a memento or something.
Well, you've made it when people want your autograph, Casey.
I'll tell you, it gets scary. We did a festival a couple of weeks ago, and I've got one particular song on the album called "God Took His Time on You," which has been probably one of my biggest singles in my career. And I had a couple wait, right until the end of the night when I, said g'day to everyone, and they wanted to let me know they were about to get married, and they were going out the next day to get matching "God Took His Time on You" tattoos for their wedding, which was pretty full on. But that's pretty cool.
Well, it's definitely an experience. I guess the next question is, where is the strangest place you've signed your autograph?
Holy moly. Look, there's a lot of places where you sort of have to just go, no, I don't think my wife's going to be very happy if I do that. So I've had to politely say no, let's put it that way. A baby's head was one of the weirdest ones, or a baby's arm. I think we've had some strange ones. And we did a gig in Rockhampton on the tour, and there was a guy with a bald-shaped head, and he was adamant he wanted us to sign his head. So his head was pretty weird.
And you've just released a new single, Kiss Me Like You Mean It. Music video all done and dusted?
All done and dusted. Really excited about this track. It's a little different to some of the stuff on the album. This one's got it's country, but it's got a real pop element to it as well. And we've even got some brass in it, which is different for me. I've not really released tracks with brass in it before, but this one's getting a pretty good reaction so far, and it'll be fun to put in the live set too.
And you worked with M Squared again on this track?
Yeah, this one is the first song where I did a 5-way co-write. So myself, the boys from M Squared, and 2 writers over in America. We all co-wrote it together, and it came up really well. So hopefully it gets a good response at radio.
Well, I think it will, because you've already had, 7 consecutive number ones in the top 50 country chart as well?
Yeah, I only
Country
told
Town
that recently. It's pretty awesome. Radio's always been super supportive, so I guess we're grateful for that. So hopefully we can keep it going.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, you had the album launch. How did that all go? It would have been good to be home in Tassie again.
Yeah, funnily enough, we took it back to where it all started for me. And it was kind of a really special sort of moment, because when I was going through high school, there was this, I grew up on the northwest coast of Tassie, and there was this place called the Fourth Pub, which is now like become this real draw card as a live, music venue. Like, if Darryl Braithwaite or Pete Murray or The Living End are on tour, or even Lee Kernaghan, he was going to play down there recently, they all go and play at the Fourth Pub, and it's a great venue. And that's the first place I got up on stage and played with the band when I was 15. And Mum sent me a photo of that when I was, she dug it up out of the scrapbook somewhere, and we thought it'd be cool to go back and kick off the tour where it all started. So that's what we did. And
it would have been great to catch up with some familiar faces you hadn't seen in a while too.
Yeah, all old schoolmates and people I used to play footy with, and old teachers, and all sorts of people. It was great. And I think, we sold it out super quick too. So it was really special, and hopefully we can go back and do it again maybe in the next few months.
Now, you haven't been affected as much as some of the other artists out there, but how good has it been getting out there and touring more, not having as many restrictions, just catching up with the fans? It's been a while with some of them, hasn't it?
It has, yeah, definitely. It's been tough, more so for a lot of my friends and artists who are down in the southern states that copped it once, when we were through all the lockdowns and everything. But, we've been very lucky to be back, gigging again, and doing a lot of regional shows in Queensland as well. And now we're looking forward to some bigger festivals now in the second half of the year. So we've got Gympie Muster coming up next month, and CMC Rocks, and some other really big ones. And then I'm heading back to the States in October to do some touring over there. So that'll be exciting. Catching
up with anybody over in the States working on some new projects maybe?
Maybe that is in the pipeline. Yes, definitely. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of stuff, and been busting to get back to the States, since COVID hit. So it'll be good. And
you were recently at Tamworth as well?
Yeah, Tamworth. Down there for some shows and Golden Guitars, and it's always nice. I mean, it was the 50th anniversary of the Golden Guitars this year too. So, and the Country Music Festival. So it was a big sort of weekend, and we loved it. It was great. So
what's next for Casey Barnes? I mean, you're flat out all the time, but I'm sure you've got plenty of other things happening in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, obviously promo for this new single, we'll be doing a fair bit for that, and a few other little projects that we've got in the pipeline that I'll be doing as well, which I've obviously let you guys know as soon as I'm allowed to. But there's a fair bit going on. So it's great to be back, gigging and playing shows, and having this new album out. So very thankful. Well, I'm glad that you've managed to sneak in some downtime with the family, because you've got a busy schedule ahead of you. If people want to find out more about Casey Barnes, where do they head to? Yep, just I guess I'm on all of the social platforms, so you can find me on Instagram and Facebook and even TikTok, which is the new rage at the moment, which my kids are teaching me all about. But
And you're killing it, by the way.
it's funny. When I first sort of dabbled with it, I was just like, I don't understand this thing. How does it work? And but now, yeah, I'm right in there. It's great fun. So yeah, I'm on all of those platforms, and I guess you can check out the new album on Spotify and Apple Music and all those places too.
Yeah, well, I can guarantee people listening to this interview will at least get entertainment out of your TikTok account, if nothing else.
Yeah, do it.
Thank you so much for having a chat with me, Casey. It's a pleasure as always.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.